I also want to give a quick shout out to Sugar Bear Hair. I met their team weekend one at Coachella, and they really helped me and my friends out with sister security because it was crazy. You guys probably already know about their iconic hair vitamins, but they just came out with brand new vegan sleep vitamins. And first of all, they taste so bomb. But most importantly, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety recently, and it always comes late at night when I'm laying in bed thinking, which is not fun or fresh. So I've been taking these 30 minutes before bed, and they've been really, really helping. So if you guys want to check them out, you can swipe up.
It's been super supportive to my friends, and it's been really crap to feel like, not that you should do things to get support, but like, you know, friends should support one another. That's how it should be. And, you know, I'm having one of those days where it's like smacked in my face of what's what, and having to take a look at things and realize what they are and not wanting realize what they are. When you do so much for people in your life and they not only don't return the favor, but they just don't even see you. Like, I get it. I fucking get it. I'm just so upset. I feel really used. Everybody says what they need to say and uses who they need to use to get ahead, and I have had about enough. I've had about enough. It's not right.
Exposed, 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 exposed. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you. Exposed, 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 exposed. It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Exposed. 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 It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Exposed. 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 I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you. Exposed. 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 It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Exposed. 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 Exposed.
A lot of people, right, on the internet, after my makeup and opinion video, I had a lot of opinions about my opinion, which I'm like, okay, like, you can have an opinion about my opinion, but what you can't tell me is that my opinion is wrong, because my opinion is based on facts, right? So when I had an issue with Tati's video is when she was talking about me being complicit in predatory behavior. And I was like, excuse me? What? Predatory? What? Predatory? Who? You could have created that video and literally, no. She created this video and I'm like, what we're not going to do is literally say that I'm complicit in a situation that you are excluding information from. Oh no, because the Seattle situation, I can completely debunk because she said I was in that kitchen, okay? I was in that kitchen and she's excluding certain information that was said in that kitchen. So I find it really fascinating. And I'm like, oh no, just don't lie on me. You can say whatever you want to, but don't lie on me. You shouldn't. But the main part that I want to speak on is this whole sexual allegation, because I feel like everyone's running with this predatory behavior type of situation. And I'm being drawn into it because she's like, Gabriel Zamora, you were there. And the fact that you're not doing anything about this, you're complicit. In what? Excuse me? There's certain information you're leaving out. So let's play it. At 24 minutes, god damn, a whole fucking 43-minute ad bashing someone. Okay, so at 24 minutes, she says the following.
Because this behavior is not normal, it's not okay. Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room. This is shit that will follow them for the rest of their lives. And you need someone to tell you to stop it, and that's them for the rest of their lives.
It's a long phone call
to tell you to stop it, and that's exactly what I did in your kitchen, in front of Gabriel Zamora.
In the kitchen?
So I'm really shocked,
I thought it was on the
Gabriel,
phone.
that you really don't care about this at all in front of Gabriel Zamora. So I'm really shocked, Gabriel, that you really don't care about this at all and what is happening. You were totally complicit with the situation, obviously, with the video that you made. All right, I'm pissed.
You're pissed? Okay, so what you're missing in this story, I was in the kitchen. But the part that she's missing out in this situation is, first off, she's trying to, the straight boy thing, that's a different one. Let's first talk about the Seattle boy, right, that she brings up. You try to trick a straight guy. She was there. That Seattle boy, she knew exactly who it was. The Seattle boy then goes into James's DMs. Like, I was there. James was telling us this exact story in person. Homeboy slid into James's DMs. Homeboy was like, I'm down to cuddle. Like, cool. He was bi-curious. Like, apparently everyone was bi-curious. He wanted to come up. He cuddled with James. Like, why aren't you stating? Like, why is she saying all that? She's talking about, you really came at Mr. Keep It 100 with 60% of the story? I was in the kitchen. James was literally telling us what went down. Basically, homeboy came up, they cuddled. He was a fan. Like, no shade. Like, nothing bad. Like, please don't out this boy. Please don't out this boy. Because later he was like, oh, I'm actually not bi-curious. I just... Like, they were still messaging after. Where is the predatory behavior? Because I can already debunk it, sweetheart. She's like, trying to trick a straight guy yet again. What other straight guy? What other straight guy? Just because he's flirting with guys, James hasn't hired someone and been like, you have to sleep with me. No, these are guys. These are DMs. Like, there's so many tweets out there that are like, guys are the ones sliding into James's DMs. And for some reason, because James is flirting, he's a predator. What? What, Tati? Tati, no. The story doesn't make sense because...
The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle on my birthday, it literally made me want to vomit. Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again.
No. Her birthday, looked her up. 37 years old. He's 19. Girl. February 14th. Girl, we hung out like late March. Like late March in his kitchen. So you had that conversation, but then I'm like, it was your birthday dinner. It was the waiter at one of the dinners that y'all went to. And he was being flirty. That's the guy that slid into James's DMs. The manipulation of the story to try to make it seem into something like that. I'm like, no. You just need clarification because it's not really a situation. You're making it seem... Nobody asked about Seattle. You're literally putting information out. And I'm like, what? What? And you're allowing this predatory story to go around when it was like, no, girl, you're leaving information out. And I don't like that. So what happened in the kitchen? I'll tell you what happened in the kitchen because it's really not that deep. It really is not that deep, okay? So what we were talking about, James was telling us about that situation. The guy ends up telling him he's not bi-curious. He's not really interested in men, but he still wants to be friends and blah, blah, blah. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. James is like, I don't need friends. Like, you came to cuddle. Like, I thought we were gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that's the situation. And we were telling him, it's like, you have to be careful because people can flip the switch. They can try to make it seem like you da-da-da. James is like, how? Like, I have text messages, I have the DMs, like, he has everything. That's why I'm like, what? What do you mean, like, predatory? That's why I'm like, no. Don't say that shit, because people really go to jail for that, okay? People really get sued for that. You really want to talk, like, you're omitting information. You're a fraud, Tati Westbrook. You know that there's text messages, there's DMs. We were all in that kitchen talking about the situation.
By sister Tati video, and the other being the Nikita Dragon X's video. But today I'm really only going to focus on the Tati video. So in Tati's video, she said she was disgusted by James' actions towards me, the waiter, in a restaurant in Seattle. So I'm about to tell my story, including all the details and direct messages between me and James. To start off, him and about 32 other people all came into the fancy restaurant that I was working in, and they were all there for Tati's birthday. And Tati and her husband came in and they helped set up the big table and everything, so we knew that they were coming. And at that time I really didn't know who James Charles was. I recognized his face, but I didn't know who he was. So when he came in with everyone, it was kind of a big surprise. So when he came into the restaurant, I noticed him and his kind of entourage with Jeffree Star, him, so Jeffree Star, James Charles, and all of Tati's family was there at my restaurant. And throughout the night, James and his friend and everyone, they just kept looking at me, but especially James. And he was looking at me. Later on that night, he started talking to the other employees about me, asking me if I had a Valentine. This was on Valentine's Day. And he kept asking the waiters if I was single and that they thought I was very attractive. Or he especially thought that I was very attractive and he wanted to get my phone number and all that. But the wait staff at my restaurant didn't let that happen. He left and it kind of just went untalked about.
I'm sorry to be super duper annoying, but I have to keep pausing this video in order to make it fair use for use of commentary. This is a fair use video for use of commentary, so I'm going to continue talking after this video.
The next day, my sister convinced me to direct message James Charles, and I did. We can throw the screenshot up here somewhere in post. I said, LOL, it's Sam the busser from John Howie. John Howie is the restaurant that we worked at. He replied with OMFG, and then I replied with LMAO. Then he asked me how I was, and then you can kind of read here, he's like, sorry about last night, you're very attractive. And then I responded with, it's all good, very flattering actually. And he said, love that, did not know you were 19, oh my god, I am too. We proceeded to talk for a while. It was his last night in Seattle. He actually invited me out to his hotel. At that time, I was bi-curious. I had never done anything with a guy before, and I was curious. Later that night, he invited me out to his hotel room. When I got there, in the video, he said I was brought up by 4 security guards, but in reality, I was brought up by 1 concierge. But besides that, I get to the hotel room, we say hi, it's all fine. We end up watching a movie. And after that movie, he asked to kiss me. And I was very nervous because I had never done anything with a guy and I was bi-curious. So I said yes. And we ended up making out for around an hour. And if I'm being honest, he's the worst kisser I've ever kissed. Way too much tongue.
This video is fair use for commentary. This video is fair use for commentary. But also, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, isn't James Charles is a bad kisser. Oh my god, that's the gag of the century. You paid all that money for them lips and you can't even kiss good. What a shame.
Yeah, but besides that, so he didn't want me to leave from the hotel room. And he kept telling me to stay, like, please stay, don't leave me. All this and that, but I really wanted to go home. So I left, and throughout the following weeks, we kept in contact, and my birthday was coming up on the 22nd, and he wanted to fly me out to LA. And that kind of freaked me out, because at that point, I was pretty sure I was straight. So I told him in a long text message that I am straight and that if he were to fly me out, I wouldn't think it was right if I wasn't attracted to him. But if he still wanted to fly me out as friends, I gave that as an option to him. So he declined my offer and canceled the flight. And that's when he got really sad and emotional. He took to social media. And his response to me was that he didn't think that I was straight. He told me, "You're not straight." Like, I'll throw up the DM conversation right here. And we kind of stopped talking after that for a little bit. And then he came back to me. He asked me for closure. After he called me for the closure conversation, he offered to fly me out again, and I declined. Because I didn't want to use him for his money or his fame. I felt that that was wrong, and that's what everyone was telling me, that it would have been wrong to go out there if I wasn't actually feeling the same way that he was. So I declined for the second time the trip to LA. He still went on to say he thought I was bisexual or gay and attracted to him when I had told him different. That pretty much went on for a long time until we kind of ended it at, "I'm legitimately not feeling anything, please stop talking to me," this and that. So in this screenshot, it shows him telling me how I felt, and luckily I screenshotted it because later on he went on to delete and unsend those messages, knowing he was in the wrong and he was guilty. So those messages in the live conversation aren't there anymore. Not only was he telling me how I felt, telling me that I was bisexual, but he was also at the same time talking to Gage.
This video is fair use for commentary, fair use for commentary. Okay, so this next bit is actually really fucking juicy. So pay attention. Oh my god, I can't even believe this happened. Ah!
And I found this out after Gage released his video explaining his side of the story with James. And then I was just done with him. I didn't want to have anything to do with him after that, after finding out that he was kind of playing two straight guys at the same time. So we have footage of him admitting to it on FaceTime that he was in fact talking to me and Gage at the same time.
Sure, what's up?
I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So I just kind of watched the Gage thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of, in all honesty, I think you were talking to him at the same time you were talking to me.
Yeah, we were. It's like, why do you care?
It's just, I mean, how would you feel if I was talking to and hanging out with someone else while you were talking to me, right? Like, that's...
You probably were.
I wasn't. Well, thank you for listening to my side of the story and to hear what I had to say about James Charles. This isn't intended for me to get clout from this video. I don't really care, to be honest. I just wanted to kind of share my side of the story now that everyone's kind of opening up and give some more information to everyone. So, thank you for listening. Yeah. This is Sam, and we're out.